Welcome sa zip9.com. In this video ay tutuloy natin ang ating series on quadratic equations, no? And dito sa part na to ng ating series ay pag-aaralan natin kung paano ba mag-solve ng quadratic equations using factoring. So, slight review, ang quadratic equation ay ang equation of the form ax squared, no? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, kukunin natin yung value ng x. We want to find the value of x. And in finding the value of x, one of the strategies is factoring. Yan ay kung factorable itong ating left-hand side. No? So, for example, no? Let's have our first example. 2x times x minus 5 or x plus 5 is equal to 0. So, dito, ang mangyayari is, magiging 0 lang ito if this part, no? If this part is 0, no? This part is 0, or this part is 0. So, it's either one of them is 0 or both of them is 0. So, pag 0 tong part na to, this part times this part here is equal to 0. Pag 0 naman ito, ang 0 times any number, no, or any expression on this part would also equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin, we have to equate both expressions to 0. So, first we have 2x, ito muna, is equal to 0. We have x, of course, is equal to 0. So, divide both sides by 2. We will end up with x equals 0. Dito naman, sa x plus 5 is equal to 0, we can also say x plus 5 equals 0. Then, subtracting 5 from both sides, we have x equals negative 5. So, minus 5 dito, minus 5 dito. Magiging x na lang ito, magiging 0 yung 5 minus 5. And then, yung dito, 0 minus 5 is negative 5. Ibig sabihin, yung ating solutions, no? Ang ating solution set ay 0, negative 5. No? So, usually, ang solution set natin ay yun yung solution ng ating quadratic equation at nilalagay natin siya dito sa ganitong klase ng notation, set notation. Okay, so pwede nyo i-check, no? Pag ang x natin ay 0, 2 times 0 equals 0. No? At ang pag x natin ay negative 5, negative 5 plus 5 is also equal to 0. Okay? So let's have our second example. We have x squared minus x equals 6. Still, this is a quadratic equation kasi ang highest degree natin ay 2. No? And gagawin natin is that we have to transform the equation such that yung lahat ng mga numbers natin ay nasa left-hand side, lahat ng expressions natin ay nasa left-hand side, and 0 yung nasa right-hand side. No? So, gagawin natin, we have to subtract 6 from both sides. No? So, magiging x squared minus x minus 6. Tapos, yung right-hand side natin, pag nag-minus 6 tayo dito sa 6, magiging 0 na siya. No? So, factoring, we have x tsaka x, we have x squared, diba? So, x yung nandito natin, x din dyan. No? Tapos, yung negative 6, ang isa dyan ay negative, tsaka yung isa ay positive. Tapos, yung isa dyan ay 3. Ano mga factors ng negative 6? Pwedeng negative 1 and 6. Pwedeng 1, negative 6. Pwedeng negative 3, 2, tsaka pwedeng 3, negative 2. No? So, alin dyan ang may 1 na yung nasa gitnang part niya, yung b natin is the sum, di ba? So, makikita natin that mas malaki yung minus, or I mean, mas malaki yung absolute value ng minus natin. So, ibig sabihin yung minus natin, yun yung Yun yung 3. And yung isa natin is yung positive 2. Okay? So, pwede nyo yung double check. We have x squared. And then yung middle term is negative 3x. And then yung x times 2 is 2x. And then your last part is negative 6 or minus 6. So this becomes x squared minus x minus 6. So babalik siya dito, no? So this is correct, no? And again, this is equal to 0 if either, no? If at least one of them is 0. So pwede natin x minus 3 is equal to 0. Therefore, x equals 3. And also, we have x plus 2 equals 0. So, x equals negative 2. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, ang solution set natin dito ay 3, negative 2. Okay? So, pwede nyo i-substitute dito kung tama pa siya dito. Of course, tama yan. Pwede nyo i-check yourself. Number 4, we have, number 3 pa lang pala, sorry. Number 3, we have x squared equals x squared root 3. No? Pwede nating, again, this is still a quadratic equation dahil meron pa rin tayong term na x squared at yun ang pinakamataas natin na degree. So we have x squared minus x squared of 3 is equal to 0. At least, yung gagawin natin is dapat, di ba, sabi natin kanina, all the expressions should be on the left-hand side and the 0 should be on the right-hand side. So we can factor out x, no? X times x minus square root of 3 is equal to 0. Kaya nakita nyo, nilabas ko yung isang x, kaya nawala na siya dito. So we have x is equal to 0, equate both expressions to 0. Dito x equal to 0, and this one, we have x minus square root of 3 is equal to 0, and x is equal to square root of 3. So, ang solution set natin dito, meron tayong 0 and square root of 3. No? So, dito parehong rational numbers, no? Dito meron tayong irrational, which is square root of 3. Okay? We have example 4. What is x squared equals 16? No? So, again, dapat 0 yun sa kanan. So, we subtract 16 from both sides. We have x squared minus 16 equals 16 minus 16 is 0. No? So, x plus 4, no? Pag finactor out natin, x minus 4 is equal to 0. This is sum and difference of two terms, no? Two squares. So, x equals negative 4. X plus 4 equals 0. Therefore, x equals negative 4. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals 4. Okay? So, ang solution set nito ay 4. Negative 4. Huh? Okay? So, yan lang muna yung sa video natin. Meron pa tayong pangalawang part nitong ating factoring, no? Para hindi masyadong mahaba. Abangan nyo na lang and see you in the next tutorial.